Hello everybody, Jeff here, and welcome back to the next lesson of the Traffic Building Masterclass. I'm your host, Jeff Welsh. You know that already because I introduced you in previous lessons, but let's dive right in. This is lesson number 2 called Mastering the Basics, the second lesson in week number 1 of this masterclass. And inside this lesson that we're going to go over here today, I'm going to teach you a few things. I'm going to teach you the important criteria before generating new traffic for your website, your e-commerce store, your offer, whatever it may be. Some things that you must know about your site and the program before you dive into actually generating traffic. I'm going to give you guys a solid understanding of the basic principles used in our process. Now, when I say a solid understanding of the basic principles, I'm just giving you an overview, a little bit more detail in the process that we use to generate sales for our customers and our clients, okay, at the agency here. And the first step of that process is called conversion rate optimization, or we like to refer to it as CRO. To shorten things, it's a process that is pretty much inevitable for most sites. Sometimes we get kind of lucky, a client's in good shape and you don't have to worry about it, but it's something that I'm going to teach you guys here today. What exactly is CRO? I'm going to teach you about Facebook ads. A lot of people already know what Facebook ads are, but I feel as though I got to give you a little bit of some insight from our perspective. I'm going to teach you a little bit about Google PPC, the email marketing process, traffic data analysis, and just bringing all of that stuff together in a big picture at the tail end, okay? And then at the very end of this lesson, I'm going to give you some important steps that I require that you take before you move on to the next lesson, okay? These are some things that you really need to pay attention to in all of the lessons, right? I'm setting up this entire program so that you go step by step by step by step in a certain chronological order. It's super important that you do that. Otherwise, when you start bouncing around and skipping around, you're going to miss some things and you're just not going to be as productive. So take special note to the action steps. They're really easy in this lesson because you're at the very beginning of things, but take note of these lessons at the tail end. So let's dive right in, okay? So first, let's go over some important criteria that we like to begin with before we generate additional traffic to a website, right? Now, most people already have, unless you're brand new and you haven't developed anything for your business yet, most people already have an offer. They already have something that they're putting out there, whether it be a product or a service that provides an actual solution for a specific problem, right? So that could be, in coaching and training, like what we have here at the agency, we're providing an offer that helps to train you guys to do various things to scale your marketing and your sales on your website. So that's our offer that we're offering you guys. It may be a specific product. Maybe it's a special dog collar that solves a specific problem dog owners have, whatever it may be. You all definitely need to make sure that you have a solid offer that solves a very specific problem first, okay? Then, once you have that, you need to make sure that you have a website where there's a functional website or a funnel that explains the following: the problem that you're solving, okay? The solution that you have to solve that problem, because at the end of the day, that's what everybody wants. They don't really care so much about your business or anything except for the fact that you have something that is going to solve their problem. Okay. And that can be a product or a service. It can be lots of different things, but it could be a ticket to an event. You're solving a problem of them being entertained on Saturday night, whatever it may be. But first, you need to have a website that solves a problem and the solution that you have for that problem. And you need to have a way to purchase that product or solution, right? So if you don't have any of this stuff yet, there's no sense in trying to generate traffic for something that you already don't have, okay? So the next thing you need to do is you need to start to generate traffic for your site. You must already have a traffic coming to your website And usually before people get into paid advertising, and I highly recommend that you go this route, it's really through organic methods, right? You just have, the word of mouth is the old way of doing things. Now we have the ability to use organic social media posts on various platforms, right? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest. I could go on and on forever about all the different platforms. But you need to have traffic coming from that first to your website. Or you also may be focused on SEO efforts, search engine optimization efforts, in tandem with what you're already doing is a good thing too. Obviously, the more that you can drive people to your site, the better. So before you dive in to any of these things that I'm going to teach you here today, it's super important that you have your offer, your website, and traffic going to the site and already converting into sales. Okay? And that's the last thing that I wanted to go over: conversions. Prospects, people, traffic that are coming to your site need to be already converting. If you don't have any of this stuff, there's really no sense in trying to generate more traffic, because you need to solve these 4 problems first. Okay? So make sure you have that stuff before you dive into any of the more advanced things that we're going to go over. So let's go over first conversion rate optimization. What exactly is that? CRO. And it's the process of improving a website or funnel with the goal of increasing the percentage of visitors who take a desired action. And some of those actions can be purchasing a product, filling out a form, answering a survey, signing up for a newsletter, whatever. It's the process of improving that desired action. Okay? You'd be surprised how many sites I've seen in the course of my career, and even to this day, where people think that they're ready to go and they don't understand why traffic's not converting, and I can tell them right away by looking at their site. Well, you've got a problem with your website, you've got a problem with the UI, the user interface, or you've got a problem with your offer or whatever. That's what CRO is all about, is fixing that problem. And the primary objective is to optimize the user experience in a way that encourages more conversions. That simple sentence there, when I first got into the marketing aspect of my career, it was what's UI? I don't know, UE, user experience. What is a conversion? I didn't understand those terms, but it's really quite simple. You need to make sure that your message is simple and clear, that your user interface, your UI, is easy to navigate, and that it encourages people to get through the process and purchase the product or the service as fast and as simple as possible. In a world today where we've got so many different distractions, and you're going to lose people's attention within seconds, not minutes anymore, seconds, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to make sure that you have those type of things taken care of. So that's why we always make sure that we focus on CRO first. We take an overall look at the site and what can we fix to make it easier and simpler. And like I said, we like to start with this process because it allows us to see where we can make improvements in critical areas where a desired action occurs. For example, on an e-commerce site, we focus on the product detail page or the cart process, the shopping cart process. I'm going to give you a quick little story that I've explained before in the past. We had a client years ago it was a great client. We generated a boatload of traffic. We sent it to their site, but nobody was buying. Nobody was converting from a prospect to a customer. And eventually, come to find out, it was because the customer had a website that was broken. Their site was busted, so the conversion rate tanked was like 0 to like 10% or whatever it may be. It wasn't much of anything. It's because they had something that was broken, and at the time they were pointing fingers to us when actually it was not our fault, because we were not contracted to work on the website. We were just contracted to send traffic to it. So that's why now we take a really close look at people's sites, and I highly recommend that you do the same for yours. before you start sending boatloads of traffic to it, okay? So a few key elements in the CRO process include things like the user experience, A/B testing. We can test how does a page look if we have it laid out in this order, or if we move this option menu to this part, or this description, or this additional photographs to this area. A/B test. We like to test different areas to see what the users prefer. We like to make sure that there's a proper call to action on the page. The page load speed. This is a common one that people just don't pay attention to. You need to make sure that your page is loading super fast, okay? And if you don't have a fast page loading speed, a lot of the times it's because you haven't optimized your images. People just kind of dive right in and start uploading images straight off of their phone or their computer, high resolution images that are large in file size, which tanks the load time of the page, and that's going to tank your conversion rate. So you want to make sure your pages load quickly. Responsive design. You want to make sure that the design of your page is responsive to what type of device it's on. Is it a laptop? Is it a desktop? Is it a mobile phone? Is it an iPad? Whatever. Make sure that it's designed well through responsive design. And make sure that the content is optimized within the page as well. Make sure that the information that is on there is really clear and simple and gives them all the details that the user needs to know. And you want to make sure that you also have analytics and data analysis set up so that when you do drive traffic to the site, more traffic to the site, you can run reports on the tail end after several weeks or whatever, and take a look at it once a month and see what exactly is happening there, so you can make some educated decisions on some things that you need to change, fix, adjust, whatever it may be. That's the gist of what CRO is. We dive deeper into these concepts into week number 2 in the lessons provided in this course. So if you want to know more about CRO and the process and what things you can do to better your site, I highly recommend you check out week 2 in the course. Okay, Facebook ads is the next step. So most people know what Facebook ads. Once we know that our offer is good and traffic is occurring organically on a site and conversions are successfully generated on the site and people are buying, this is the time where we start to generate more traffic, right? We can amplify the people coming into the store. It's just like if you were opening up a retail location. You don't want to send traffic in when they're still doing the drywall, where you don't have the stuff out of the boxes hanging up nicely in the store yet. It's the same thing. Once that stuff is fixed and ready to go, now is the time to generate more traffic. And this is done initially through the processes that we practice here at our agency through Facebook ad campaigns, okay? And within Facebook ads, as many of you already know, you can target ads based on various criteria, including demographics, interests, behaviors, locations, a whole slew of different things that are super helpful to really kind of narrow in your targeting. I like to always give it the example to the old school way of advertising. When you're driving down the road and you see a billboard for an attorney, okay? Those companies that like to do those billboards, they like to tell you how many people are driving by that billboard every single day. Oh, at that intersection, you're getting 100,000 people drive by the intersection. Ah, yes, thank you, Mr. Advertising Expert. But what's the percentage of people that are driving by that actually need that service right now? Or maybe they don't need a collision attorney. Maybe they need a divorced attorney or whatever it may be. It doesn't do any good. So the probability of you connecting with the right person is not nearly as good as you can with targeted ad campaigns like I'm describing here with Facebook ads. So again, Facebook ads are covered in the lessons during week 3 when you sign up for the Ad Agency Academy Premium program. So if you want to know more about the Facebook ads and how we actually have success with them, I highly recommend you signing up for Premium. Okay, and here's a good example of a Facebook ad variation example. Let's just say this specific customer was selling a specific dog collar that solved a problem. Maybe it's for an electric fence, whatever it may be. We, generally speaking, whatever the client is selling, we like to create variations. So variations in different color schemes, variations with different lines of text, variations with different headlines. We create those variations in every single campaign, and then you send out them at random to the targeted audience, right? And whichever one of these four is converting the best after a period of time, let's say it's the blue one, then we turn off these and we send all the traffic to the blue one, because that's the winner of the A/B testing. So I just wanted to give you kind of an example of Facebook ad variations and how we use them within our targeted campaigns. Okay, so let's move on to the next section, and the next section is talking about Google PPC campaigns. Okay, once we have Facebook ads converting, and only when we have Facebook ads converting, then we move on to setting up Google PPC campaigns. Now, why do we wait until that point in time? Because we know that we have some things working properly, right? We don't want to be spending the client's money on advertising on another campaign if something's broken on a website. So remember, we focus on CRO first to fix some of those problems, but then we slowly start to toss some traffic to the site to make sure that our fixes were working properly, or there's no other areas that we need to focus and give our attention to. So once we have Facebook ads converting, then we move into Google PPC campaign. Google PPC allows advertisers to display ads on Google search engine results pages. They like to refer to them as SERPs, as well as the Google Display Network and also YouTube in targeted audiences. So the same concept of targeted audiences that we discussed briefly in Facebook ads is used with the Google PPC campaigns. You've seen these ads. Whenever you do a Google search, it's the ones that up at the top that say sponsored or ad. Those are the ones that we're talking about here. By running this type of campaign in tandem with Facebook ads, we can significantly increase the volume of traffic that's going to an offer in a funnel or an online store. Okay, that's the key point here. Significantly increase the volume of traffic. So let's say we're into week 3 or 4 of working for a client, and this is all stuff, by the way, guys, this is all stuff that I went over in the 2x your sales in 60 days training. Okay, so all of this stuff that I'm describing to you now is just more details about what we did in that campaign. So I think it was around week 4 is when we started to drive traffic significantly more. When you look at the conversions for that specific client, they started to go up drastically, right? Remember, in that story, we took a client from $100,000 to over $200,000 in 60 days. The ramp up was slow in the beginning because we're just sending a little bit of traffic. Now all of a sudden we're sending more traffic to the customer's offer online, solving the problems they have, solving the problems that their prospects are having with the product or service that they're selling. So again, Google PPC is covered in a lot more detail in week 4 of the Traffic Building Masterclass. I highly recommend that you check that out over in the premium subscription model. And here is an example of a Google PPC ad. Okay, now this specific ad is for a plumber in Cleveland. Okay, so that's the targeting, right? You know, people have a broken toilet in Cleveland are going to see this ad first. Okay, and that's popping up above the actual search result that they searched for. Plumber near me. Okay, that's the Google PPC ad campaign. Okay, now remember, we've increased the volume of traffic because now we've got omnipresence, right? That's a term I haven't gone over with you. Omnipresence. All of a sudden, people in Cleveland are seeing Facebook ads for the plumber pros, and now they're seeing it also in Google. you're amplifying your message and your solution. Okay, let's move on to the next step, and the next step is email marketing. What is email marketing? Well, it sounds pretty obvious, right? Again, once we have Google and Facebook campaigns producing results, now we move into email marketing process, right? So we've ramped it up. We've ramped up that traffic. Now we're gonna throw some more fuel on the fire, so to speak. Most people have an email list. Okay, if you don't, you need to be building one, and that's a whole other training we can go into later on. Most people have an email list, but not everyone leverages that list to its maximum capabilities. Okay, and I see it happen all the time, guys. When clients come to us, a lot of times it's because either they don't know how, or they're just maxed out with time and energy and they don't have the resources to do so. So that's why they come to us as an agency, and we help them out with that service. So it's not uncommon to discover that people have not made adjustments, and significant improvements in their conversions with email marketing. Some are trying a little bit, but maybe they're sending one email a month. That isn't going to do you good, guys. I'm telling you right now, you need to send a lot more than that. Email still works. By sending consistent and strategic emails to a targeted audience with the goal of promoting products, services, building relationships, or conveying information, you will most certainly amplify not only your traffic, but your sales. So remember, after Google and Facebook ads, we've gotten to this point. Now, if you start running emails consistently, you're gonna ramp it up even more. So that's the next step in the process, guys, to really kind of really throw the fuel on the fire and get people, the right people, going to the site so you can convert more prospects into customers. Week 5 in the Traffic Building Masterclass goes into much more detail of email marketing, some of the practices and strategies that we use, and how you can apply that to your specific business. Okay. Here with the email marketing, I wanted to give you guys an example of some results that we achieve here at the agency for our paid clients. Here are some results for various campaigns. Well, this is one specific client last year. So last August, October, and November. Okay. We sent to all subscribers in this one, and more of a broken down audience in this one, and to all contacts in this one. Okay, 43% opened the emails. 43% of the people on their list, which is 14,089 people, opened the emails. Dude, that is incredible. That is an exceptional open rate. Okay, that's just fantastic. 705 people, which is 1% of these people, opened up those emails. Okay, so one email, guys, one email promotion you sent out to a boatload of people that open, and this is how many opened it up, and then this is how many clicks were achieved, and this is how many orders were achieved just by sending one promotional email. And those 4 orders totaled about $1,700 for this specific client. It's not massive, but it's good, and that's just one email within a week. We have clients where we're sending 5 emails a week, just one every day. Can you imagine if you were sending to a list of this size, getting this many open rates and this many clicks and this many orders? Sending multiple a week and getting, let's say it's 1,000 for 4 days a week. That's $4,000 just by sending 4 emails. So that's why it's super important to make sure that you have an offer that solves a problem, and you have a website that is optimized and things of that nature. That's significant. It adds up over time. So $4,000 a week times 4 weeks in a month, that's $16,000 in just sending emails. Wouldn't you love to have that? I would love to have $16,000 a month in just sending emails. And here are a couple of different options as well, examples as well. Very similar results, right? 41% to 14,000, about the same amount open, 792 clicks, 8 orders in this one. They made $2,000 on this one specific email. And down here, 50% opened, 884 clicks, 7 orders, $1,700. So I just wanted to show you guys what is possible. What is possible when you follow a process in a specific order and optimize your systems, okay? So that's email marketing. Let's talk for a few minutes about traffic data analysis, okay? What exactly is traffic data analysis? Well, it's the final step in the process, and that's where we review the data that has been collected from all campaigns over the course of, let's just say, a month for this specific example. So we have some software snippets that are implemented into the site before we start any of the campaigns so that we can collect information. And some of the ways that we do this, there's lots of different ways. Google Analytics is one form of data that we review. The Facebook Pixel is another thing that we like to implement to collect information about what's happening on the site with the traffic conversion, collecting conversion information. And there's a ton of other tools. I could go on forever, but one of them is called Matomo. That's another tool that we use. But guys, you have to, before you send your the traffic to your site, you have got to have data collection processes implemented, okay? Otherwise, you may as well be throwing a dart at a target in the dark. So it's super important to make sure you have some of these things implemented before you actually, because this is now at the tail end of the time period. In a month, we're just going to review the information, right? We're going to take a look at the information. We're going to review the results based on the objectives that we set out for ourselves. So a lot of times it's increased sales, right? You know, especially for e-commerce or any offer really. How many more sales did we want to achieve this month? And how successful were we? Did we blow it out of the water? Did we not do it? Did it suck and tank? And did we not do well? And when we take a look at that information and review it, we can see what adjustments we need to make to various campaigns. Maybe the Facebook ads campaign is crushing it, but there needs to be an adjustment to the Google the Google PPC campaign. Or maybe the offers that we're throwing out in emails are not doing that well, so we need to make some modifications there. The data analysis is super critical for us to be able to make some educated decisions and try again for the next month. So this is all part of the process, guys, okay? And that, again, is something that we're going to review in multiple weeks, but definitely in week 8 is traffic data analysis lessons in the Traffic Building Masterclass over in Premium. Okay, so let's take a look at the big picture now. I want you guys to take a look at something. This is where you're at now, okay? If you have not implemented any of these things that I'm talking to you about here today, this is where you're at now. Your current traffic, you have a website. You've built a website for a product that you want to promote, an offer, whether it be a service or a widget, whatever it may be. Maybe you're creating some organic social media posts, drive traffic over to this site, right? You're working on the website, doing some SEO work, some search engine optimization work. Whatever it may be, you've got some traffic here. This is the beginning, right? We've got people coming to the site, and then they're plunking around, seeing what you have to offer, and some of them are coming out of this end as prospects to customers as conversions. That's awesome. But remember, this is where our client was when they came to us in the 2X Your Sales in 60 Days training. They were making $100,000, right? Which is awesome. A lot of you are not even close to that yet, and that's fine. But I'm just using them as an example. They were stuck. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what changes they needed to make. They didn't have the expertise, and they were too busy to figure it all out. So they came to us, and guess what? This is what we did, and this is how we got there. This is how we went from $100,000 to over $200,000 in 60 days, 8 short weeks. And that's what this training is. I'm giving it to you guys. I'm literally giving you the information that you need to be able to do similar things for your site. Maybe you can 4X your sales. Maybe you 1.5 times your sales. But anything, if you can take away one thing in this training and increase the traffic and increase the conversions on your site, that makes me happy. That's a win. Okay, that's a win-win. And this is the process, just like I went over with you, right? We've got a new overall campaign. First, we're going to start with CRO. We're going to fix some things we're going to look at the website, and we're going to fix some things and make some adjustments. Then we're going to go into Facebook ads, right? And drive some traffic, make some conversions, increase some conversions. We're going to make some adjustments of things that might still need to be tweaked over here. Okay, we got all that stuff working. We're moving into the Google PPC campaign. More traffic, right? Sales start to go up here. That was after about, by the way, that was after about 30 days. This is about where you were in that graph over that 2x your sales training. Then those ads are converting. Then we're going to move into some email marketing. We send out one email, make sure that the offer is good. We start converting at 40%, and we get 700 clicks and 4 purchases. Now those sales are coming from here too. So we've gone from here to here to here to now we're going to here, right? And here's where we're at the end of, really at the end of every month. We look at the end of every 30 days thereabouts from the launch of a campaign and say, okay, what's working, what's not working, what needs some adjustments. And then we make those adjustments. We go up here, we make those adjustments. Maybe we need a content refresh. Maybe the ads are becoming stale. We need new visuals. We need a new offer. We want to push a different product. And we go back to here. And if you need to make some adjustments on the CRO process, then cool. If not, you dive right back into the ads campaign. And it's a vicious cycle, guys. Once you get this rolling, you never want to stop, especially if it's churning, right? It's a constant cycle. And that's what we do. And that's what you should be doing, or you could be doing too, for your specific offer or your specific website. So I wanted to give you that big picture view of essentially kind of like the before to the after. Okay, guys, that's most of the training I have here for you today. I want to give you a couple of action steps at the end of every training to get you to take action, right? To move forward, all right? Nothing is going to happen unless you do something. Over-educating yourself without taking action is just wasted time. So let's take a look at some action steps. Before we move on to the next lesson, these are just a few of the very small, at this point, action steps I want you to take. I want you to make a list of your current marketing efforts and where you're at with your website, okay? Ask yourself some things like, are you generating organic traffic already? If so, how many visits are you getting? How much traffic are you generating? Where are your successes coming from? Have you fully optimized your pages in your funnel or your website? Is your description perfected? Is it SEO friendly? Do you have some good photographs of your product there? Do you need more photographs of your product? All these types of things. I want you to pay attention to those details. And are prospects converting into sales? The traffic that you're sending there, if it's converting, even if it's just 1 or 2 things right now, that's progress, right? Once you've gone through that and you've achieved that, then if you've answered yes to all of those things, then I want you to move on to the next step below, okay? Which of the 5 areas that we discussed are you already pursuing? Are you pursuing all of it? Are you pursuing none of it? Have you never even heard of any of the things that I just talked to you about? What are there areas that you need more clarity with? If so, that's why we're here. We've got the group so that you can ask questions. My entire team is in the group. You can ask some basic questions there. They'd love to help you out. You need to get clarity on some things that you're unsure of. If not, then I would recommend taking action on them in the order provided. So again, if I go back a few slides here. If you've not done any of these things, then I recommend that you start working on them in this specific order, top to bottom, right? Okay, and that's what you need to do. And that's what I recommend that you do, because that's where we've had success. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the end of our training here today. I try to keep these things around 30 minutes or so. Today was a little bit longer, but not too bad. And I hope that you find that information very helpful. If you find that this stuff was helpful, leave a comment in the training, in the platform, in the school group. Okay. If you've applied some of these things to your business and you've had some success stories, remember to post your wins and hashtag win. All right. And show us a screenshot or create a Loom, whatever it may be, something that shows us the successes that you've had so we can inspire other people and help other people out. So, all right, that's all I have for you guys today in this training. So I want you to go ahead through all of those action steps, and I'll see you in lesson 3 soon. Take care and have a great day. All right, bye-bye.